Good afternoon, Sheepdog Preparedness. Got Kenny back with you again. And today we're going to go over personal water filters. Specifically, we're going to talk about the Lifestraw and the Sawyer Mini. And talk about differences between the two, pros and cons on each one, and kind of talk about some of the things to look for when you're selecting a personal water filter. First of all, today I have to apologize for the glare. We've had some rains move through and a lot of haze, and the sun is doing some weird things to the exposure on the camera today, so I'm kind of squinty-eyed just to be able to film this today. So, water filtration, very, very important part of your preparedness plan. Probably one of the most important parts. You can only survive 3 days without water. You've got to keep water flowing through the body to keep the kidneys functioning and keep a lot of the other vital organs working the way they should. So you have to have access to clean, drinkable water. There's only so much water you can stash back, whether it be in bottles or jugs or 55-gallon drums. You need to be able to treat water, and you need to be able to do that on the go in case you are in a bug-out scenario. So I want to show you what I carry in my EDC and what I carry in my bug out. And they happen to be different things for each application. And the first one we're going to talk about today is the Lifestraw. Probably one of the more well-known personal filters that are out there. You've got a little protective cover over the business end. You can see the filter. You got a little protective grate over it there to keep the large particles out. And on the other end, you got a little neck lanyard for wearing this too if you want. And on the other end, pull the cover off, and there's the application end. You put in your mouth and drink from. And these are great little items. There are millions of these out there. A lot of people use them. You can replace the filter in these. Lifestraw sells for about 20 bucks. Replacement 2-pack of filters is about 10 bucks. And they will treat, according to Lifestraw's specs on them, you can do 264 gallons of water with this one Lifestraw before it ends its useful life. That's about 1,000 liters. And a lot of that's going to depend on the water itself. How bad is the water? The cleaner it is, you may get more out of that. If it's filthy stuff out of a pond or a lake or something and it's got to do a lot of work, you may not get 264 gallons out of this thing before you have to toss it. And the Lifestraw will get you down to 2 microns as far as the particles it'll take out. So it'll take out everything all the way down to 2 microns. 2 microns is a pretty tiny little particle. We'll talk more about particle sizes here in a little bit. So once you hit that 264 gallon mark, you'll know, because you won't be able to draw water through this thing anymore. Now, that's one disadvantage to the Lifestraw. It is just a straw. You only can use it by dipping this thing down in the water and sucking water through it. Now, I'm sure you could probably rig up some sort of way of attaching a bladder to this with your dirty water and letting it hang and letting it filter through. I'm sure there are people that are doing that, but it's not specifically designed for that. It's not readily available for that. It's mainly used for putting it in your mouth, putting it in the water source, and drinking straight from the water source. Now, you can gather your water up in a container and drink from the container. SHTF scenario, that's what I would do. I'm not going to lean over into some stream with my back exposed, not watching my surroundings while I'm drinking through this thing. I would scoop the water up into some sort of container and then drink from the container using this so that I can keep an eye on what's going on. A little bit more tactical. Don't turn your back. Wildlife know that trick, so learn from them. So 0.2 microns, 264 gallons for about 20 bucks. That's what I carry in my EDC bag, my get home bag. Alrighty, next up we're going to talk about the Sawyer Mini. And Sawyer has several different types of water filters, and they have a lot of other gear too, but this is their Sawyer Mini. And you see you've got your arrow on there so you know which direction the water is supposed to flow. When you get the Sawyer Mini, it comes in a little kit typically, where you get the filter, you get a collapsible water bag that folds up, very small. This has the same kind of threads on it that a standard water bottle has that you drink bottled water out of all the time. And it comes with an extension straw. It also comes with a back flushing syringe for cleaning the filter out. That entire kit, usually about 25 to 30 bucks. You can usually get those at Walmart for about 21, I think 22 bucks is typically the Walmart price for the Sawyer Mini. Now, spec wise, we told you 264 gallons on the Lifestraw. Try 100,000 gallons on this bad boy. That's what they say. Sawyer claims that you will never be able to drink enough water through this filter that it will expire during your lifetime. You will not drink 100,000 gallons of water the rest of your life. So, if that's the case, this bad boy could last you for a very long time if it truly does hold up to the specs that they say. Now, once again, that's all going to depend on the source. The dirtier the water, the faster it's going to clog up. But at least with the Sawyer, you do have a way of back flushing it, cleaning it, to hopefully extend the life. So, once again, you can do this one like you can the Lifestraw. So you put the little straw on the end, follow the arrow, put this down into your dirty water source, and drink through it. It's possible to do that if you want. The cool thing about the Sawyer Mini is those threads are designed around a standard water bottle. So that's why they designed the bag that way. Whether you use this as your dirty water catchment or another old water bottle, pick which one's going to be which and label them. Dirty water, treated water. And let's say this is our dirty water. We've dropped this down into the stream. You'll screw the filter onto it. You'll hang this up. You'll screw your clean water bottle onto the bottom. You can squeeze this bag, put it under some pressure, or you can just let it hang. Take you a hole punch, put a little hole in this so you can hang it up with some paracord at your campsite. And the longer it hangs there, it'll start dripping through and you get perfectly clean water coming through the other end. Fill your bottle up, boom, off you go. So, pretty slick. Now, on the Lifestraw, we said that it filtered down to 0.2 microns. The Sawyer Mini will do 0.1 micron. So, it will get you down there at some really good fine particle levels. It will take out more stuff. So, for about the same money, it filters a lot more water and filters out a lot more stuff. This is what's in my bug out bag, and this is what I keep in all the family members' bug out bags. Everybody has one because they're so cheap. Everybody's got their own, and you can even buy these in 4-packs and save some money. So that's one thing to keep in mind. What I do with my Sawyer Mini is I keep it in a modular setup. I've got an Nalgene bottle, and this is the bottle for clean water. Clean water goes to drink. And I keep everything in here. It all fits in here rather nicely. I keep the Sawyer Mini, the syringe, tube, all of it in there. I also keep a little Ziploc baggie full of coffee filters. Coffee filters come in handy for taking out some of the larger particles. You can strain your water through that first. Another cool idea is the good old Schmog. I have a bunch of these bad boys and they're awesome. So if you've got larger particles, if you're taking water from a stream or a lake or a pond and you want to get some of that algae and some of those other things out of there first, run it through the coffee filters and or the Schmog to get it down to where it's a little bit cleaner water to start with, and it's going to increase the life of your filter. You'll have a lot less stuff to filter out of the water filter itself. Maybe that sun is going to cooperate a little bit here, cut down on some of that glare. I feel like I can actually open my eyes up a little bit better now. We talked about microns on the filters. The Lifestraw being having the capabilities of filter down to 0.2 micron, the Sawyer Mini going down to 0.1 micron. Well, how big's a micron? A micron basically is a measurement that is equal to 1/1,000,000th of a meter. So it's a tiny, tiny little particle. To compare it, like a red blood cell in your body is like 5 microns. So we're talking microscopic particles. A human hair, just to give you an example, as tiny as a human hair is, they're about 75 microns. So this will take out a particle that is about 1/50th the diameter of a human hair. Pretty sweet. Pretty slick technology. Now keep in mind, for the most part, these filters are going to take out mostly larger things. They won't take out pesticides for the most part and some things like that. They'll get some of that, but for the most part, you're not going to get that stuff out unless you have an activated charcoal filter. So I always suggest doing that too, and that's the way my setup is. I have it to where I not only carry in the bag with me the Sawyer Mini inside my Nalgene bottle, I should say. The Sawyer Minis in there, the coffee filters, all that good stuff. But I also have a little platypus filter. Platypus make great stuff, great stuff. And this is called their Gravity Works carbon element. Shows you which direction the water flow goes, so real easy to set it up. I can have this hanging up, dirty water going in, straw still attached, but instead of going into my bottle, we put another element in there and we attach the platypus, so you get another bonus. And these little beasts are not too expensive. I think I got this one on Amazon for about 10 or 15 bucks. I'll put a link down below. I'll link all this stuff down below in the description. So now you've got a carbon filter also that's going to take out some of those other nasties that you don't want in there. So when you get done filtering, what I like to do is I like to test my water. And this is a little something I got several years ago from a company called Zero Water, and they make water filters too, but they're mainly made to use inside the house to filter your tap water to make it a little bit better tasting. This is it'll tell you a measurement. See, it says TDS. That stands for total dissolved solids. It'll give you a measurement of the total dissolved solids that it finds in your water. And you'll see on the back they've got a little handy scale on there. Drinking water, hard water would be considered around 200. Drinking water we've got here at the farm now comes out of the faucet at about 285. It's pretty hard stuff. So we've got a water softener, and that helps considerably. Average tap water, it shows on this scale, is between 200 and 400. High scale tap water between 400 and 500, and anything 500 or higher, they tell you don't drink it. That's the EPA's maximum level where they say it's not safe to drink. They don't want you drinking it. So I've tested some natural spring water nearby, a little secret source that a few of us know about, and it tested out better than the tap water coming out of my faucet. And that's what we have. We have rural water here. We've got a well on the farm too, but we don't drink out of it at the moment. We can. So this is my last step. I test it with this. Tell me the total dissolved solids. Total dissolved solids are mainly stuff like calcium, phosphates, sodium, potassium, stuff like that. Pesticides would be considered in there too in some forms. It's mainly organic and inorganic particles. Mainly inorganic is what it's telling you on this scale, and it will tell you a few organic compounds. So pretty slick little final step that I enjoy doing just for my own peace of mind to see how clean it is. And we buy purified water because we have a Keurig machine. You want as clean a water as possible in a Keurig because they'll clog up on you and gum up. It's an expensive coffee machine, so we buy purified water by the gallons. This stuff tests it at a 0. There's nothing in that water as far as any total dissolved solids. It's clean stuff. Been using that Keurig for well over a year and have not once had to descale that machine. So the meter is doing its thing. It's telling us what's right on that water. So you don't have a Lifestraw, you don't have a Sawyer Mini, you're trying to get by on the cheap. And that's where this bag comes in. This is one of those Condor pouches for keeping your drinking vessel. It's made for something like this. But what I keep in here is a little Stanley cook set, stainless steel. And on the front zippered compartment, we've got an Esbit stove. Unfold the little Esbit stove. Got 2 different ways you can set it up depending on how big your cooking vessel is. You put your fuel tab in it, sets down here. Put your cook pot on top, boil your water, and now you've purified your water that way. So now boiling water is not going to take out chemicals, so you still will get maybe some funky taste. You still could potentially get pesticides and things like that, you know, remnants of those things, but at least you will kill the bacteria. You'll kill the stuff that's going to make you miserable while you're out on your trip or while you're in the middle of bugging out. So at the very least, do that. So if you're gathering water and you're in a bug out scenario and that's all you've got with you, is, you know, at least carry some way of boiling water so you can at least boil it and at least take out the contaminants that are going to make you immediately sick. That's in my bug out bag. So if it's a really unknown water source and it's pretty dirty looking stuff, I probably would take that step too, just to be safe. I'm still going to filter it through the Sawyer. I'm still going to go through the Platypus. And the final step, I'll pour it into that pot, boil it, and then that would be some awesome water. I would love to try that, and I think I'll do a separate video on that. We'll take some tap water. Let's do that on another video. That would be a great way of seeing the comparison on these. So take some tap water out of the faucet here at the farm. I'll run it through this. We'll get a number. And we'll run it through the Lifestraw. We'll see what it comes out on the other end. And we'll run it through the Sawyer Mini. And then we'll put the Platypus on there and check it again. And then after that, we'll boil it and we'll check it again. Keep comparing the numbers and we'll see what we get. I think that'll be interesting. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. Personal water filter, I think, is a very, very important device to add, if not to your EDC, then definitely to your bug out, and most definitely to your home kit. Because you may get to the point to where you are having to gather water from unknown sources that you are not sure of the origin of that water. You've got to be able to make it safe to drink. It's very important. So overall, wrapping up, I would say my choice out of all these systems, if I had to go with one thing, it'd be this bad boy right here. To get what you get with the kit, the filter, the collapsible water bottle, the straw system, everything that comes with it, you can't beat it. I think, you know, 22 bucks is what I paid for these at Walmart. It's well worth that. Okay, hope you enjoyed the video. Please feel free to comment below. I'd love to hear what you're using as far as your filter systems, and I'd like to hear your ideas on future videos. Let me know what you think. Please share the videos. Please share the channel. Trying to grow the channel and get some more information out there. And we'll see you again. Until next time, are you ready?